Hey guys, Neffy here. Today we're going to go over a rough guide on how to deal with Transformer type heroes in Naraka that you see most often in trios. I'll be going through Feria the most with some info about Tianhai and Yueshan. Feria is vulnerable while in a walking thruster state inside her cockpit. It's important to directly target her body to deal direct damage separate from the mech's health pool. She can heal while in the mech, but she must be in a walking state. Careful, as a good Feria will turn to the side like so to avoid damage if not in cannon mode. If she's in the cannon mode, try to do focus peel damage while timing dodges to avoid cannon shots. The closer you are to her, the harder it is for them to shoot the ground and hit you with the cannon state shots. Be careful if they swap to walking state, as they will go for a knockback when swapping back to cannon. Your priority, especially in Yang trios, is focusing down the Feria, as her cannon shots stagger and make you easy pickings by her teammates. Certain characters can pull her out of cannon state, such as Yodo's ult, Tianhai's stomp floor grab, Justina's freeze, Boda's wave, and Viper's stun. If she's in walking state, Tianhai can end her ult immediately by grabbing her out of the cockpit. This specific situation, she can also turn to the side. For Tianhai, it's relatively simple. Always face him to see where the grabs are coming from and dodge in time the grabs coming at you. Try to deal ranged damage pot shots, and since you will most likely see him in trios, try to make sure to avoid getting staggered by teammates. Just like Feria, the same characters stagger crowd control Transformers as well. Temuk is a big counter, as his ult blocks the grabs, and Kurumi's Umbrella, Witch, and Shield Blades also do the same. If the Tianhai has a glowing weak point, it means they're using a self-heal ult. You can do massive damage to it with range. It's usually on the head or the legs. For Yueshan, I'll leave Rustam's guide in the description, as he goes over every matchup and how he functions and what Yueshan's main goals are in a teamfight. Primarily, you have to avoid their attacks and try to land focus attacks where possible and maintain distance. Yueshan's goal is to stagger everyone to allow his teammates deal maximum damage. Grappling his head helps, but he can jump up and knock you down. A good Yueshan will jump often to avoid damage to their legs and also drop down on enemies. The following characters can stagger regardless of state Yueshan is in. His legs are a weak point and are most vulnerable to Tianhai's floor grab or stomp, and Yoto can use her ult blades. Takeda's ult 1 and ult 3 can stagger as long as Yueshan is not in ult 1 stab, gold focus state, or in a charge vertical horizontal. Justina can freeze and Viper can stun. Ult 3 of Yueshan gives a 4-second window to avoid crowd control effects. This includes Viper Stun, Temuk Slow, Justina Freeze, so pay attention to when you see a Yueshan yells. I hope this guide gives you some kind of idea of how to deal with Transformers, as I've seen many new players kind of struggle when fighting them. So this gives you some headers to let you know that they're not impossible to fight, and running away is probably one of the worst things that you can do, especially if you turn your back on them. Although terrain can break a lot of their attacks and give you some time to recover, it's most important that you deal with the Transformer, which one of the Transformers that is transformed first, and try to whittle them down as fast as possible to put them in a state that they cannot deal as much damage as they can. If you have any questions or any comments about anything, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you.